There's this saying that when we plan, God laughs. And, this is true because we can plan as much as we want, but things still might not go the way that we want them to go. And so, when that happens, which it will at some point in your life, what could happen is doubt and fear and worry starts to come into play. You start to get worried about what's going to happen in the future. And there's this verse in Proverbs 16 where it says, a man's heart will make a plan or make a way, but God will direct his steps. And so that's to say, we may think we know what we want. We may think we know what our plan is, but ultimately we don't, right? In the long term, we don't know everything that's going to happen in our lives. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, We might not even have that long. And not to sound morbid or anything, but it's true, That's why I've talked about previously how it's so important to pray every night and every morning. Pray and thank God for giving you another day to fulfill his plan for your life. And so, I bring this up because it's really easy to forget that God is in control. Our God in heaven is in control. It's easy to forget that with the world that we live in, with how we usually take to what our flesh is saying to us. And, sometimes, like I said, we think we know what we want, and that's usually our flesh speaking. And most of the time, what our flesh wants isn't what God has in store for us. So it's really important to trust God with your future so that, you're not led astray, because that can happen. If you plan and you are so set on something happening a certain way, and you could end up losing yourself in that process and it ultimately not going exactly the way that you want it to go. It's dangerous, to take that path and to solely rely on your plan. It's, bringing back up that saying where it's like we plan and God laughs, because it's like we sometimes think that we have everything figured out and we don't. And it's okay that we don't. I think that's what it's all about. That's what's so important about, relying on God and trusting in him with our future, because at the end of the day, we don't know. And that's okay, because God is in control and he has a plan for our future. And it's easy to forget that when things all around you seemingly are going so wrong. So just some thoughts for this morning, to trust in God and give him that worry, that fear, that doubt that you may be feeling. And remember that he's in control. Remember that he has a plan for your future, and to continue to trust him with it. Thank you, and God bless.